Welcome to the Maps for Kids Showcase. I'm your host, Tierney Tennant. This is our third installment of the show where we highlight the significant changes taking place in our city schools. Thankfully, the voters approved the sales tax to improve technology, transportation, and the buildings that serve more than 40,000 OKCPS students. But the brick and mortar improvements are just a part of the changes made to ensure our future leaders are ready to tackle the world. OKCPS staff members are also busy at work in the classroom, adding rigorous curriculum and opportunities that will prepare students for life after high school. On today's show, we're going to introduce you to a new district-wide initiative that will put students on a path to a successful career. Right now, all OKCPS 8th graders have the opportunity to choose a career academy that will help develop a path toward high-paying and successful careers after high school or college. OKCPS is implementing career-themed academies at every high school. Look at your screen right now. That's a list of the academies opening in the year 2012 and 2013. Here to provide insight on the career-themed academies and how this program will benefit students is Verna Martin, Associate Director of Secondary Education for Oklahoma City Public Schools. Thank you so much for joining us, Verna.
Thank you, Tierney, for having me.
And I know previously you were the principal at Northeast Academy, which has a health sciences initiative. What about your experience there really inspired the district to take this initiative district-wide?
Well, Tierney, Northeast Academy originally was Northeast High School. And about 18 years ago, our district decided that they would rename the school. It became Northeast Academy for Health Sciences and Engineering. And over the course of those 18 years, there was change in leadership, and the engineering program that was once a very viable program at Northeast Academy was no longer in existence. And so when I became principal at Northeast Academy, one of the things that I was charged to do was to revive the engineering program. I learned about the National Academy Foundation and a program that they had called the Academy of Engineering. And so through research of that program and working with a team of people that were helping me to make the program at Northeast Academy viable again, we decided that that was a program that we were interested in. So once we actually went through a year of planning with that process, we realized, started to notice the impact that the Academy was having on our students. We were having a lot of community interest in the school, which, previously that was not necessarily viable at the school. And so one of the things that our district did was in 2011, we went through a strategic planning process. And through that process, working with community leaders, teachers, students, business leaders, basically that was one of the initiatives that came out of the strategic planning process, was that all of our high schools would become career academies. And so that is how we got to this point. One other thing, we now have 5 schools who are undergoing a year of planning so that they can open their academies.
And when you think of career-themed academy, at its core, what is the real purpose? What will it serve and its purpose for the students?
One of the things that I often think about as I'm doing the work that I'm doing with the career academies is, as a student myself in high school, when I was graduating from high school, and I started to look at what it was that I wanted to do when I graduated, there were 2 things that I thought about. One was to be an engineer, and the second was to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. Of course, I decided to become a teacher, and I absolutely love what I do. But the reason that that decision was made was because I really did not know anything about what engineers do. I didn't believe that I could be an engineer. I didn't know what it took. And so I think it's important for these academies to really give kids the opportunity to be educated about what it is they want to do when they graduate from high school. It brings relevance to the classroom for the students, because one of the things that we really focus on is how are we going to get our kids engaged in school. And I think these career academies will go a long way in helping kids to find relevance. Why is it that I need to study English and math. How does that look when I graduate from high school and go into the workforce? So I think it really brings purpose to education for our students.
And I know the process of implementing a career-themed academy at our high school, it involves a well-recognized, nationally renowned National Academy Foundation. They're involved in that process. Tell us about that.
Well, actually, the process that we went through at Northeast Academy was we had to go through a year of planning, and the National Academy Foundation worked with us to work through the plans for developing our academy. That year of planning process was one that involved regular monthly meetings with a team of teachers and community leaders within our school. And through that process, we basically laid out the foundation for how our academy would work. And then at the end of the year, and we planned for a full academic year, at the end of the year, we had a final visit from the National Academy Foundation, and then they recognized us as having done a good job, an outstanding job, I would say, and then we were able to go through what they call a graduation exercise.
And I know NAF is really interested in increasing the number of minority engineers and health professionals. And with our school district being a majority minority school district, it seems like a perfect fit.
Well, I absolutely agree with you. Currently, our school district is around 72% minority. And when we think about the fields of health sciences and engineering, African Americans, Hispanics, those ethnic groups are very underrepresented in those fields. I believe, and which is why the academies are important, is that a lot of that is due in part to them simply not feeling prepared to go into those career fields, or having enough information about what those career fields involve to make a decision that that's something that they could be successful in. What I really love about the academies is that kids are exposed to the curriculum beginning in 9th grade. So by the time they graduate from high school, and if they choose to go to college and pursue that career field, then our goal is to have them better prepared so that they can succeed when they get to college.
And I want people to understand that this is not just you stick the word academy behind a high school and there it is, but this is a very strategic implementation that involves advisory boards and also mentorships for some of our students who will now be interested in a career field.
That is correct. Actually, the model has 4 components to it. The academy structure, the curriculum for the program, and as you mentioned, advisory boards and work-based learning. And so those 4 components come together to really make this a unique model for implementing career academies. And we're really excited about the advisory board piece of that model, because it has really given us an opportunity to bring our community into our schools. A lot of times we talk about wanting community to work in our schools, but we really don't have a structure for how that looks. But these academies actually have a structure and have a full plan for how advisory board members and industry workers can actually assist the school, assist the students in being successful in these academies.
Is it safe to say that this will be a school within a school, a group of students who have elected to follow the information technology field, and their curriculum, their classes are in line with that? What are the requirements if you want to be involved or as you choose a career academy?
Well, I think that's the most exciting part about it. One of the NAF requirements, and when I say NAF, the National Academy Foundation, is that schools do not place academic requirements on admission into these academies, which is a little different than what has been done historically. So there are no academic requirements for admission. All that we require in Oklahoma City schools is that a student be interested. If you have an interest in pursuing this plan of study, then we will give our students that opportunity. Another thing that I think is also important to mention is that our district will provide transportation to any student that chooses to attend an academy. So if a student chooses an academy outside of their what we call a homeschool attendance area, then our district will provide transportation for that student. And I think that's awesome because it really provides access to these academies for all of our students.
So the student just needs to have interest. The district will provide the transportation, the curriculum, and the nationally recognized plan for curriculum in this academy. And that's really all it takes to get this going and to change the lives of our students.
Absolutely. That's really all that we're asking. And, you know, once a student gets into the academy, we do expect for them to keep that interest, to put forth their very best effort to be successful in the academy. But, you know, we just want them to be interested to initially begin the program.
Well, we have a lot more to discuss on this exciting new venture for Oklahoma City Public Schools. When we come back, we'll talk about what students can expect from each academy. But first, as we head to break, here's a look at John Marshall Mid-High School, home of the Bears. The building serves students in 6th through 12th grade, and thanks to you, the voters, in 2009, students moved into the brand new state-of-the-art building equipped with a FEMA safe room, large media center, gym, and plenty of space for the more than 800 students who attend the school. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Maps for Kids Showcase. Here's a look at Star Spencer High School, where you should beware of the Bobcats. The school was one of the first high school campuses to complete Maps for Kids renovations, with a new school opening in 2004. Now, more than 400 students enjoy an updated gymnasium, large spacious hallways, and technology in the classroom to help our students succeed. And we've been talking with Verna Martin from Oklahoma City Public Schools about the new career-themed academies coming to the district next fall. And Verna, I know that Star Spencer is going to implement the Hospitality and Tourism Academy. How did you choose which school would get which academy?
Well, actually, the schools made those decisions, and they did that using a variety of data sources. One of the things that the schools did was work with a team of teachers and students, and they looked at their current capacity. So they looked at the programs that they currently have in place and looked at the academy themes that were available to make a decision about which theme would most easily align to what we already do. But they also looked at student data from the Plan and Explore test that our students take in 8th grade and in 10th grade to look at where some of their student interests lie.
Well, if I had a child, what are some of the coursework and curriculum they could expect if attending the Hospitality and Tourism Academy?
Well, Tierney, actually Hospitality and Tourism is one of the academies that I'm very excited about.
It's the one I would choose.
Yes. They actually have courses like sports, entertainment, and event planning. And in that course, really the students will learn about project management. They'll learn the skills that are needed to plan large events. They would also be able to explore the entertainment field. And a lot of our students are really, you know, excited and interested about the entertainment field. And so it gives them an opportunity through one of their courses to actually learn a little bit more about those areas.
We know that information technology and engineering, of course, both popular and high-paying career fields. What type of coursework will the students expect from that academy?
Well, in the information technology, students will have an opportunity to really start to look at technology in a variety of ways. One of the courses that I think students will really like is digital, oh my goodness, I can't think of the word, but it has to do with students being able to use video equipment, much like what we're doing here today.
Production and all of that, and editing.
Video production is actually the course.
Here to
Thank
help.
you, Tierney. And so our students are I think they'll be very excited about that course because I actually had it in a school that I was previously principal of, and the kids absolutely enjoyed it.
Well, math was not my strong point in high school, but I know John Marshall will be an Academy of Finance, so I don't know if that would be one that I would pick, but still, it sounds like really exciting for students who are interested in the finance field.
That's right. Students will study financial literacy, which is very important because we want our students to be able, once they go to college, they need to start learning about how to manage their finances. And so financial literacy is a course that will also be offered. One of the things that's exciting about the Academy of Finance that will be at John Marshall High School is they are already in plans for looking at possibly adding a Tinker Federal Credit Union branch to their school.
That will be so instrumental for students.
It absolutely would, and the students would actually, while they're at school, operate the branch, which would be in the school, and it would give students really real experience with banking and financial management. And so we're excited, and hopefully that will work out. It's in the planning stages now.
And that's the relevance that you're talking about that kids will be interested in regards to education. Why do you think it's so important that you introduce students to a career path? The sooner the better.
Well, again, like I told you, my story about, wanting to pursue engineering but really not knowing anything about it or even feeling like I could do that. But I think also it's important for our kids to have a plan after graduation. When they enter college, they need to know for certain what it is that they want to study. This would alleviate situations where kids go to college and a year later they change their career major and those parents have lost funds that those kids have invested. I think another thing that it's important is that really, some students may choose not to go to college. We want our kids to be ready to enter a career when they graduate high school, should they choose that. But they could also be able to work while they're in college. And so it's really about when kids graduate from high school, they have a plan and they're marketable and they're able to go out and be successful.
And under the Academy plan, students have an opportunity to work with advisory board members, industry officials that can mold them and be there to direct them down the right path. How much of an impact do you think that'll have on the students?
Well, I have already seen that it will have a tremendous impact. One of the things that I also would like to mention is that we're implementing these academies through a partnership with Metro Technology Centers, and the City of Oklahoma City is working with us. And so we have seen the impact on our students. Already the students at Northeast Academy have been competing in robotics competitions, and those advisory boards are there to provide financial support to the students. Also, they're in the classroom with our students, helping them to build their robots and giving them that expertise in those areas that our students or even our teachers may not necessarily have. And so I know the impact is tremendous. It also will be important because between the junior and senior year, those students will participate in what we call work-based learning or an internship. Well, if we have 10 academies with maybe 600 graduates at any given time, we're going to need to place 600 students in internships, which is not a simple task. And so we cannot do that without the support of our advisory boards and our business industry. So it's going to be very important that they support us and work with us in this initiative.
Well, that's one example of why the partnership between the school and the community is very important in the educational success of students. And when we come back, we're going to speak with Brian Corpenning from the OU Health Sciences Center. He serves as an advisory board member for Northeast Academy for Health Sciences and Engineering. But first, here's a look at Southeast High School. This is a specialty school focusing on technology. The MAPS renovations at this site just wrapped up this year with an updated entrance, office, and classrooms. The school serves students in grades 9th through 12th, and renovations cost a total of $7 million. Thanks again to the voters. We'll be right back with more from the Maps for Kids Showcase.
Could you stand a little fun in your life? Then look no further. The Oklahoma River Cruises tour the beautiful Oklahoma River. You can enjoy a fun-filled, family-friendly, climate-controlled adventure you won't forget, offering public cruises, exciting theme cruises, and private cruises tailored to your needs. Book your fun-filled cruise today. Log on to okrivercruises.com. Oklahoma River Cruises. Get on board.
Welcome back. You're looking at scenes from Frederick Douglass High School. Under the Maps for Kids plan, the old school was demolished and a brand new building was built in its place. Students returned to the new home of the Trojans in 2008, complete with a new stadium, track, classrooms, media center, and a courtyard. The school serves more than 750 students in 7th through 12th grade. And joining us now for the Maps for Kids showcase is Brian Korpenning, Assistant Provost for the University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Tierney.
First of all, tell us a little bit about your responsibilities at OU Health Sciences.
I see my main responsibility as getting more kids interested and excited about the opportunities in the health sciences. And I look at it from a perspective from K through 12, but also up to college. The most important thing is that kids need to understand that it's more than just being a doctor or a dentist or a pharmacist. There's so many other professions that are out there, and so you need to be aware about them. So the sooner you can get them aware, the better, so they can make informed decisions about their future opportunities. And so I see it, my role is mainly doing that. And
you have another opportunity to do that as serving as an advisory board member for Northeast Academy. In what capacity are you working with that, and what have been the experiences for you?
Actually, initially, the Health Sciences Center has had a long-term relationship with Northeast Academy that predates me. Mm-hmm. When Verna Martin became principal, she mentioned this opportunity about becoming an Academy of Engineering. Mm-hmm. And it just so happens that a good friend of mine, who was my president at a previous college where I worked, Dr. Irvin McPhail, was the president and CEO of the National Action Council for Minorities in Engineering, NACME, which is a mouthful to say, but NACME. And NACME actually is a partner with NAF, the National Academy Foundation for the Academies of Engineering. So he actually was in town speaking at Langston, and he mentioned the Academy of Engineering. It just so happened it was the same time that Vernon was mentioning it. So it was
that was a sign, huh?
Girl,
screaming at you.
A sign from above, you know. So it was almost like hitting the lottery. I was like, okay. So that was a sign that maybe this is something we should pursue. But the most important thing about it was it offered an opportunity for kids to be engaged in the sciences and engineering, which also benefits kids going into the health sciences. So I saw it as a win-win. So Verna brought me in and involved me in that journey, and I call it a journey because we went to quite a few different places and conferences and meetings to bring us on board. Understanding that Northeast Academy was the first Academy of Engineering in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. It was the first NAF Academy in Oklahoma. So there was a lot of work to do that, and Verna did a great job of that. It was tireless, but it was rewarding because there's nothing more important than doing something for our kids. So I was involved with the initial Academy of Engineering. I am still kind of involved with the Academy of Engineering, but I moved over to the Academy of Health Sciences, which Northeast is in the year of planning for right now.
And, you know, with your work with the students, you walk the halls, you sit down and you meet with them, and then you get together with your advisory board members who are business industry professionals. What are your expectations for the students and for your fellow board members?
That's a good question. My expectation for students is like I always have, to be aware, to be ready, to be prepared, to work hard. My expectations for my fellow board members is to be involved in providing their talent and expertise and skills and working with kids. It's an enormous opportunity for students. The main thing for students to really truly understand is that there are multiple pathways to success, but those pathways are full of opportunity but also hard work. And if kids are not ready for that, then they're not going to be able to take advantage of that. So if the kids are prepared and the school district and the partners provide the opportunities for kids, it'll be a success.
There may be a lot of people that are watching this and are interested. Maybe I should become an advisory board member.
Sure.
What type of
you should.
expectation, requirement, kind of paint them a picture of what they can expect when serving as an advisory board member for one of our schools?
I don't know if you want to use me as the model per se.
That's why you're here.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, But if I tell everybody all the hours I put in, they might say, "No, I don't know if I want to do all
But
that."
it does take hard work and dedication.
Oh, sure. From a logistical standpoint, you're committing to like 1.5 hours a month in terms of a meeting. But like Verna mentioned about the advisory board members working over in Northeast doing the robotics. I mean, that's something that beyond just an hour and a half a month. Now, so you can kind of pick and choose how you want to get engaged, but if you're actually an actual board member, you're going to be involved at least 1 hour, 1.5 hours a month for a meeting. If you're an executive member, which means you're either the chair or the vice chair or the treasurer or the secretary, you'll probably meet a little bit more than that. We meet as an executive board earlier on in the month before the meeting, so you add like another hour, hour and a half. So I think, you can pick and choose the level of your participation. The main thing is that you're getting involved and you're sharing your expertise and your talent and your experiences with kids in the most noblest of causes, working with our children and helping to mold them and provide them with opportunities for the future. So it depends.
I think you're right. It could be time consuming, but when you sit and think, I would think the most rewarding part would be when you're sitting next to this student and you're filling out the forms for their mentorship for him or her to follow you at OU Health Sciences, and I'm helping this student begin their career path. That's got to be the most rewarding.
That's why I'm in the profession. I've been in higher education 28 years. And it's kind of a long time ago, so I don't necessarily understand or remember why I first got involved. But I do know the reason why I stay involved is because of that. I mean, there's nothing more important than helping a child make an informed decision about their future, what they want to do. And to see them actually pursue that and then to go to their graduation or when they graduate from college and say, "Remember me, Mr. Corpenning?" And I'm like, "No, not really, but I'm glad I was able to help you." But that's the most rewarding thing that we can do. And that actually is really truly the pleasure of doing this advisory board for NAF. I think that getting the community involved in the education of our children is the most important thing that we can do to ensure their future, but also our future.
Well, thank you so much, Brian,
I
for
appreciate that.
joining us on the Maps for Kids Showcase. And for more information on the career-themed academies, call 587-0010. We'll be right back to wrap up the showcase. Welcome back to the Maps for Kids Showcase. This is a look at Oklahoma Centennial Mid-High School. Maps construction ended at the school in 2009, and now more than 700 Centennial Bison in grades 6 through 12 roam the hallways and enjoy state-of-the-art athletic facilities and classrooms. I just want to thank both Mrs. Martin and Mr. Corpenning for joining us on the Maps for Kids Showcase. This show will air monthly on City Channel 20 and highlight programs, improvements, and partnerships that affect our city schools. For more information on the Maps for Kids project, visit www.okc.gov. And for more information on Oklahoma City Public Schools, visit OKCPS.org. Here's a look at the OKCPS high schools currently in the design or construction phase of the MAPS plan. And I leave you this week with a look at U.S. Grant High School. It is the largest school in the district, serving nearly 1,600 students in grades 9 through 12. Built in 2007 and home of the Generals, the school has a 2,200-seat competitive gym, theater, and plenty of space and classrooms, all thanks to you, the voters. I'm your host, Tierney Tennant. Thanks so much for joining us.